Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today on the show, Rockstar has their brand new GTA Online update with some new content, some new game modes, some upcoming teases that we're getting over the next couple weeks here, as well as the Valentine's Day event and all the typical money bonuses, discounts, property discounts, and more. We're going to be discussing it all here today. This will be your weekly update guide going into detail on everything. We have some pretty cool vehicles on offer. Nothing absolutely insane across the whole lineup. You know, it's not just like a 10 out of 10 week, but we have some pretty decent cars, one of which you can see behind me right here. You can get one of them on discount and then upgrade it to this version. So we'll be talking about that and more in today's video. So thank you guys so much for tuning back in, and let's get started. Okay, so starting off with some new content teases. Next week, we can celebrate the Year of the Fire Horse with new Lunar New Year stunt races. We have the Yanbao collectibles that are returning to the game and more. And one of those other features, or I guess, you know, pieces of content with the and more, is the Grati Italy Classic. That will be available for all players next week. That was the GTA Plus free vehicle, I believe, over the past month, right? Now it's going to become available as a drip feed vehicle for everyone. So if you're on Enhanced or Legacy and you just don't have GTA Plus, then you can actually finally obtain this vehicle. What that means is we may even be getting, you know, maybe one of the newer cop cars as the GTA Plus car or whatever. Maybe if Rockstar continues adding the DLC vehicles as a free GTA Plus item first, and then they release it a month later for normal players. I don't know if they'll continue with that pattern, but that's one piece of new content we have, or new content teases. We have that new adversary mode. It's called Deadline Duet. So this is also for the Valentine's Day event. We'll be talking about the triple money and triple RP bonus on it, because that's actually part of the bonuses. But we have, beginning today all the way through February the 18th, the Valentine's event. So if you log into the game, you'll actually receive the Valentine's onesie. You can find it right here under your seasonal outfit section. This is what it looks like right here. So if we just apply that on our character, it's just a onesie pajama set with the lips all over it. Probably not going to use it at all. But also, if you just log into the game as well, you'll get this. You'll get free champagne in all nightclubs, 50% off all Valentine's clothing, as well as 50% off the Nagasaki Shitaro. So that's a discount for this event, not just for this weekly update. So that's lasting 2 weeks. Triple money and triple RP on the Deadline Duet adversary mode, as well as 4 times money and 4 times RP, or just 4 times money actually, on all associate and bodyguard salaries for this Valentine's event as well. Here we are in my bunker, and let's talk about some of the money bonuses for this week. So before we discuss anything about the bunker business itself, we have double money and double RP on all short trip missions. The Franklin and Lamar missions that released with the contract DLC, the contract update, normally they pay out $50,000. You're making 100 grand per mission this week. On average, I would say, especially if you're playing with a friend of yours, they could take anywhere from like 7 or 8 to 10 minutes. If you play with randoms, they can take 12 all the way up to 15 minutes. And so it's up to you if you want to take all that time to make that money. But they are worth just playing once and trying out. The community series races are also paying out, whoops, not report job, play job. You go to community jobs, and some of the stunt races here, these are paying out double money and double RP as community race series races. We also have that double production speed bonus for the math lab. Now, what's interesting about this is the math business, I'm just going to mute the game. The math business normally will make you $223,000 worth of profit per hour when you have the mansion production speed boost applied. But now this week, with the double production speed on the math business itself, that gets bumped up to $446,000 worth of profit per hour. Also, again, when you have that mansion production speed boost also applied in either case. Really solid, but not many players, including myself, want to do double the sale missions for MC businesses these days to earn double the money. Also, we've been getting the MC bonuses as kind of like the focus money bonus for a property and business each week since the mansions DLC dropped. It's played out. We're all tired of them at this point. The one bonus I wanted to focus on today, I guess, particularly because we're going to talk about this in my money guide, because it's not going to be terrible to make money. Actually, it's not really that great for money, but you can definitely make something worth it for your bunker. And actually, I don't even know if I can sign in, because I think right now I'm an MC president. Yes, hold on. Let me go back to being a CEO and we'll sit down. The bunker research missions, when you call up Agent 14 on your cell phone, you can request a bunker research mission from him. When you do one of those, normally you're getting $10,000. So here, let's go to research. Normally you're getting $10,000. You're getting 1,000 to 2,000 RP and 16.66% research progress for one of these unlocks when you do one of those missions. But with the double money, RP, and research progress from the bunker research missions as a bonus for this week, you're getting $20,000 per mission, anywhere from 2 to 4,000 RP, as well as 33.32% research progress per mission. So you can start farming these opportunities this week and get all the research. Normally, if you want to buy all this stuff, because you can, you buy a research option, it'll give you a random one, and eventually you fill them all out. You spend up to, I think it's like a little bit over $14 million on everything. So if you want to save that money, farm these missions this week. And, you know, while you're not making necessarily tons of money from doing these missions, I would say saving the $14 million going through, you know, just buying all these upgrades if you don't have them already could be worth it, right? Especially for a player that doesn't have the actual research unlocked. And the last money bonus for this week I want to talk about, or not necessarily money bonus, but it's tied into it. It's the weekly challenge. Just win 2 adversary modes this week, and with that you'll complete the weekly challenge and also earn $100,000 as a cash reward. And for our major property and business discount for this week, we're back, surprise, surprise, with another MC business that we already saw on discount at one point over the past 2 months, and we're getting it again with some of the bonuses associated with it. So the Math Lab, the Crystal White Lab, is still on sale, or I should say on sale again for 40% off, along with the upgrades for this business. So you buy your location, then you can get your equipment, staff, and security upgrades for the Math Lab for 40% off if you don't already have it already. And like we were talking about with the bonuses, the production speed for this particular MC business, not any of the others, it's only on the math business for this particular week, it's double the speed. So you can make double the money over time, albeit doing extra sale missions because you're just going to be selling twice as often. But like, aren't we sick of it? We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. I mean, we've been having MC related bonuses and discounts for 2 months. We need something else. When it comes to our vehicle discounts for this week, let's jump into some 30% off opportunities, like on the Pfister Comet S2 on sale for just under $1 million right here. Pretty sweet sports car. Doesn't have the Porsche type handling, well, not really handling, but the traction you would expect. Unfortunately, it has this like pendulum rear end swinging effect, but it's still a good car. I would recommend buying it. The Overflot Autarch is also on sale, $1.368 million at 30% off. This is absolutely worth it. Still like a top 15 supercar in the game, honestly. Maybe even still top 10 to this day. Right here we have the Emperor ETR1 for $1.396 million. Maybe overall kind of worth it. It's just on the slower end for a supercar, unfortunately. But if you want sort of like a Lexus LFA sort of vehicle, this could be it. We have the Gallivanter Baller STD on sale for $1.2 million. I don't know about you guys, but I do not want to pay $1.2 million for an STD, so we're going to skip that one. Western Power Surge is on sale for $1.123 million. This is a great bike to be picking up for that price point at 30% off. Nagasaki Shitaro on sale, like we were talking about earlier with the Valentine's event, so 50% off. You're getting it for $1.1 million instead of $2.2 million. That's also worth picking up. On Southern San Andreas Super Autos, we have the Karen Futo GTX at 30% off for $834 grand, as well as the Volcar Warner HKR for $661,000 at 30% off. The Benefactor Vorschlag Hammer for $1.253 million at 30% off. This is a great drifting vehicle you can get in this game, as well as a nice classic Mercedes if you want that. I think it's well worth the cash. On Warstock, we also have some opportunities for the weaponized dinghy, the Nagasaki weaponized dinghy, so $1.295 million for this vehicle at 30% off. And then we also have the HVY Vatir. We haven't seen this on discount for a while, $1.141 million for this Cayo Perico heist vehicle at 30% off, or $855,000 with the trade price. I mean, I don't really see it worth it at all. It's just going to be very, very slow. The Rogue, though, on Warstock, this is pretty awesome. $840,000 for this amazing fighter aircraft right here. This is definitely worth it if you want something like that. And then the last discount, you actually have to come over to Benny's to pick this vehicle up. It is the Truffati Nero. So you can get this off Benny's. You can get it for $1,008,000 at 30% off. You just get the standard Nero. Then, once you have that, you can upgrade it to the Nero Custom, which is what I was showing off at the beginning of today's video. This is what the standard Nero looks like. This is the Custom. It's worth buying two. It's worth buying two and upgrading one of the two to the Nero Custom. That way you can keep both variants, because they're both worth it. If you just want, you know, a classic Bugatti Chiron, go with this. If you want the, you know, some crazy hypercar version, go with this with some awesome extended customization options at Benny's. You can really transform this vehicle, and man, it is worth it, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. The Benny's upgrade isn't discounted, but the base vehicle is, and so you can save some money that way. You can save 400 grand. Here at the Diamond Casino and Resort, we have the Lucky Wheel podium vehicle for the week, which is the Invitero Coquette D1. Now, this car is very, very similar to the Coquette Blackfin, which has been in the game for a while. The D1 was released with the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC update, I believe. To me, I consider this just a less exciting Blackfin, I want to say. Like, this is like just a true classic old Chevrolet Corvette. The thing is, though, I just find, like, the Blackfin, you can bomb corners, you get, like, some nice rear-wheel drive features, a little bit of drifting, a little bit of, like, oversteer. It's just fun. This is, like, a little bit more of a tame version, I guess, is, like, the way I could compare it, honestly. At least to me, that's kind of how it feels. So if you've driven the Blackfin, you'll like the D1, but in my personal opinion, I do like the Blackfin more as, like, a driver's vehicle, but getting the D1 for free is definitely nice. So let's spin the lucky wheel, see if we can get lucky. Because I actually don't own one on this character. I have it on my other one, but not on this one. We're not going to get it, but we're going to get another mystery item. 5,000 chips. Alright, don't forget about your daily visitor chips at the cashier as well. So here we are at the LS car meet now, talking about the prize ride for this week, which is the Ubermacht Reinhardt. And as a BMW goes, this isn't one of, like, the top ones in the game as an Ubermacht vehicle, but it's still pretty good. Like, you have strong acceleration and top speed, you can handle corners really smoothly, you don't get much oversteer at all because this car has all-wheel drive, so you get excellent grip. It's actually on par with some supercars in terms of traction. That being said, though, this thing is super prone to bottoming out on any sort of bump or curb, or God forbid you take this thing off-road just because it's so low to the ground. And then you're going to lower the suspension further, probably, I would imagine. And despite that, you think the center of gravity is pretty low. No, it actually has a tendency to roll over or even flip if you crash, and any sort of, like, really big impact just makes this thing not that great if you're an aggressive driver, because it's going to totally mess with your momentum. That being said, if you really bomb a corner, you can take tight corners with this thing. The rollover risk means you should just be careful. Like, just keep it in mind, it's not really going to ruin your experience driving this car, but it's something that happens more often with this car than others, and you'll just be, like, driving and be like, man, like, why is that happening with this thing? Why is that just a weird bug or feature or little, like, finicky little thing with this car that I don't like? That's my impression of it. Let me know what you guys think, though. I mean, the prize ride is very simple this week, the prize ride challenge. It's a free car, ladies and gentlemen. You just got to complete one LS Car Meet Series race and win it, and you will get this car for free. $0 in game. It's absolutely worth it. When it comes to the salvage yard vehicle robberies and cars this week, we have the low tier, you know, just the bottom tier vehicle, the Bravado Greenwood. You can steal this as part of the gangbanger robbery. Next up, the standard middle of the range vehicle, the classic Broadway, featured in the McToney robbery. And then our top tier and top range vehicle for the week, the Grati Furia, featured in the cargo ship robbery. Unfortunately, none of these are claimable. When it comes to the location of the gun van, if you are watching today on Thursday, February the 5th of 2026, he's featured in the Tatavian Mountains featured today, so just a little bit north of the dam and the reservoir, so we'll zoom into the location on the map right here. And when it comes to the gun van stock and selection for this week, we have some interesting picks. So the combat shotgun is featured here. We have the service carbine, which is 30% off for everyone. We have the compact EMP launcher. This is a 30% off discount reserved for GTA Plus members only. We have the RPG featured here, the marksman pistol, as well as the pool cue. Next, when it comes to some of our test drive cars, let's talk about it. We'll start off with my favorite on the left here. This is the beautiful Ocelot Lynx. You get a ton of torque and really good acceleration with this vehicle, but you get average top speed and a really bad tendency to understeer. In terms of a sports class vehicle and a sports car in this game, it's kind of just average, you know, performance isn't exceptional. The really bad thing about the car, though, is the price point. $1.735 million is very expensive for a car like this, where there's much better performing options available for competitive racing. That being said, it's a beautiful vehicle. You get an excellent exhaust note. I still find the value in it because I like this car. And, you know, if you like a car in GTA Online, just buy it and enjoy it. Next up, the Bravado Verlier. This car has a very high top speed and really good handling. You can take sharp corners. It does experience a little bit of speed loss, though, and you do have really bad crash deformation with this vehicle, even with the armor upgrades you can apply. But the engine sound and the exhaust note is awesome, and it's based off a Wiseman GT-MF5 and even TVR Sagaris, so it's just visually as well as audibly appealing. I like it. I think it's worth adding to your garage, especially for $695,000. Next up, the Lampadati Pajali. A little bit unassuming, but this thing is surprisingly high performing right here. You get excellent acceleration, supercar level top speed on long stretches of straightaway. It is front wheel drive, so that's going to limit your turning radius and handling, but it has really good traction, high traction I should say, very good braking, good crash deformation, and honestly, if you want to use it in its specific class, it's actually pretty decent, especially when you could buy it for $400,000. And here at Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport, let's talk about it, because we have some bikes that are available. It's always fun when we get some bikes that are available for the week. So starting off, this is the Dinka Enduro, very lightweight dirt bike, very maneuverable. It's classic Honda styling, you know, with the older XR250 look. Cool bike, but low top speed, and it's also unfortunately ineligible for off-road racing, unlike the normal Sanchez, for example. $48,000 purchase price, but I love it. I mean, you gotta pick it up. Next, we have the Western Rat bike, which they've tried to make look better with an actual paint job. Normally, it's all rusted out, but you could still see it on the gas tank right there. So this vehicle is also on sale, or not on sale, but you could buy it for $48,000. It's rugged, it's loud, it's basically a stripped-down motorcycle. Similar to the Wolfsbane in terms of performance, as well as you get a solid 124 mile an hour top speed, and maneuverability is just average. Then we have the Declassy Tornado Rat Rod. With this vehicle, solid acceleration, low top speed, poor handling due to its long wheelbase. Look at the drag tires on the rear though. Because of that, you have to have bulletproof tires, because these are super exposed and these are super enlarged and exposed with some crazy high offset and width. So we have that, and if we inspect it, $378,000 purchase price. Next up, the Hijack Rust, and I do not like this customization at all, but this is a pretty good driver's car. It's styled after the Vol 05. You get quick acceleration, agile cornering. It's pretty sturdy and resilient if you do crash, despite how this thing looks super, super lightweight, because it is open top design though, so be careful. This guy just, everyone's been dying while I've been reviewing cars over the past couple weeks. Just be careful, because if you're in a public lobby, you'll get headshotted instantly. And the unfortunate thing is it's almost so light that you get insufficient traction. So it's nimble and agile and like nippy around a turn, but you may actually spin out because the traction isn't as good as it should be. Like, you just aren't getting downforce in the car, I feel like. Then we have the Lampadati Michele GT, but actually first, this car is going to run you $476,450. So yes, the Lampadati Michele GT, average performance within the sports classics category, amazing grip in the corners, lacks in top speed for a straight line, but it's nice and compact, bouncy suspension. It's kind of good for like rally racing, and so it's cool enough to drive off-road. Maybe not the best on the street. $1.245 million at Simeon's this week. With all that being said, we are going to be wrapping everything up right here, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to drop a like on it if you guys did want to enjoy. Consider subscribing to the channel if you are new and you want to stay up to date with more GTA Online content just like this. Also, consider checking me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv for more GTA Online money grinding live streams. Tomorrow on the channel, we'll be having a money guide talking about all the actual money bonuses, going in depth on that and how you can actually make some extra cash this week, because there are some pretty decent opportunities despite, again, you know, like I was reiterating earlier, it not being a fantastic week. And then also we'll be talking about some of the free cars that you can pick up this week as well. So have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.